Hey guys, it's ITW, and today I'm going to be going over, well, I'm not going to be going over anything today. I'm going to be having a bit of fun with the XNOR, the XOR, and the, what's it called, Implies Gate that I went over in the previous episode. So this is going to be the geometry part of the series. I'm going to be proving a few things about them that a lot of people don't really think of and are really, really, really handy. But, other than that, you can really just skip this video and move on to the next one. It's really just a whole bunch of fun. And I'm going to be uploading these two videos at the same time. I'm going to record the next one immediately after this. So, yeah. So, first of all, we're going to be looking into the XOR in depth. So what exactly is an XOR? And the answer is, there's two general ways that we're going to start off by defining it. First of all, it's a logic gate that, as I said in the previous video, its output changes whenever you change an input. The second way that you can define it is it's something that, how could I say this? Something that will return a true value if only one of the inputs is on. So, like, if I had this on, then that would be on. And if I had only this one on, then that one would be on. And if they are both on, then they wouldn't be on, because it's not only one. And also, I told you that this is the inverse of this one. So, the first thing that we're going to be going over is, if you think about it for a second, and you think about the implies gate, that's sort of like two different implies gates. Two opposite implies gates. One that implies one input. For instance, if I was to say this is the A input, then this was an implies A. And I was to have another one for the B input, then I would technically have an XOR gate. So, if you use comparators, then you can actually build an XOR gate that just uses this logic. And you just build it sort of like this. Always make sure you have comparators that are on if you're going to do that, by the way. And if you look at this now, it acts just like an XNOR gate. Because the signal is going to, because when just one is on, then only this one is being prevented from turning on, and it just powers through this one. If this one's on, then it's preventing both of them. And if this one's off, then it lets it through. So yeah, that's the first thing we're going to be going over. And let's see, what was the second thing that I wanted to do? Sorry, I just got to check my notes. Oh yes. I think, can I actually, yeah, I probably can. So can I prove that this will always change the output? And the answer is yes, because, okay, that failed miserably. So, basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prove that if you have two implies gates, then you will actually always be changing your output. So first of all, from this state, I have to prove that flipping either lever will change it. And that's simply done just because if I change either lever from this state, then only one will be on. If I flip this lever on, then the same applies. If I have one lever on, then if I flip this one off, then I'm no longer going to have one on. And if I flip this lever on, then I'm always going to be, then it's always going to be off. And if I have both of them on, and if I flip either of one of them, then one of them is going to be on, and therefore the output is going to turn off. So yeah, that basically shows you that that's proof for the output will always change. So yeah, so then the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over some of the cool stuff about the XNOR Gate. Now let me check my notes again. Oh yeah, so I'm doing... Okay. So, first of all, unlike this one, the two states that this one is going to be on is if there is no input on, or if there is or if both inputs are on. So that state and that state. So, seeing as I probably, sure, I'll explain what a NOR gate is. If you invert the OR gate that I went over in the last video, which is just like this, then you have a NOR gate. That's basically what it is. It's always on when both of the inputs are. It's always on unless either input is on. So that's the first gate that you're going to need. And then the second gate that you're going to need is an AND gate, because if both the inputs are on, then you want to have it on. So that's basically what the Tommy's XNOR design does here. But one of the neat things about it is that since this is a 2-tick AND gate, 1 tick to take it out of here, and 2 ticks into this torch, and this is 1 tick from here and 2 tick to invert, it's perfectly synchronized. So what it's doing here is it's ORing these two values together, and then it's inverting it. So that's the NOR gate, and then there's also an AND gate here. Sorry if you only know these two logic gates and you're watching this, but this is for people who are a bit more advanced. Maybe I'll have to put another video out that explains all the logic gates, but yeah. So that's basically what an XNOR is. But now we start to get into the really cool part about XNORs, and our first major geometrical proof other than this one. And that is that I don't have to just invert the output of this. I also can just invert one input, and I'll have an XNOR gate from this. And sure enough, it's only on when both of the inputs are the same. So how can we prove that this happens? And the answer is, well, since both of them are technically, since both of them change the input whenever they you switch, or what's it called? So whenever you change an input, since both of them change the output whenever that happens, I haven't actually proven that for this one, but just trust me, it happens. Actually, I can really quickly, just because it's the inverse of it, and since the inverse is just relies on one input, then so it's one of the logic gates that you can basically say it doesn't matter whether or not that's true. But anyways, so because of that, you can prove that if you just invert one input, then your output will always change. So even if it's off. So since it's technically on right now, it will just, by default, go into there. So then if I just turn both of them on, it's like I only have one on. And yeah, so that's most of the geometric stuff that I was going to do. But, well, as far as proofs go. So, yeah, this might be useful for some of the more advanced guys. The main thing that you should have taken away from this video is that you can invert one of the inputs into this. This gets involved in subtraction. But, yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed and hope you have some fun. And I'll see you with the more serious next time we're actually going to start getting into doing math. Specifically just adding 1 to a number, rather than just adding 2 numbers together, just because that's another step ahead. We're just going to start by adding 1. So yeah, see you guys next time.